good to see you. I've been calling you Fred, but I'm not sure if you're okay with me calling you Fred or if you have another name that you go by.
Fred is fine. That's what everybody knows me as. Everybody has known me since I was a little kid. So let's bring that spirit back. So it's
Awesome.
fine with me.
Guys, please share the live. We are about to witness greatness. We're about to hear a story that I don't think any of us would really understand the story itself. I mean, we're seeing someone who's lived through what you call adversities. But anyways, just to get started, I would like to say thank you for saying yes to this invitation. Thank you for your willingness to sit with me and to have this, something I would like to call an interview. I'm so happy to see you. All right. It's good to see you, Fred. It's good to see you.
Okay.
Right. So now, Fred, we're going to get right to it. I would like to ask you, tell us about yourself. Who is Fred?
Well, Fred is somebody that I was born in Miami, Florida. I grew up in Orlando, Florida. I would say my childhood, it wasn't the worst. I grew up into sports, gymnastics, and regular kid that I enjoyed school, but I enjoyed sports more. So that kind of trumped the school thing, but I was always smart. I just like to self-educate myself, really. But later on in life, I got led to the wrong path and started doing some wrong things, and that what led me to go to prison.
Right. Okay, we're getting to that now. So Fred was just like any other kid who was into sport, that what you call blackboard magic. So you were just an ordinary.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
All right. Well, then I understand that you had gone into prison. You did some time, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us what happened? How did that come about? How did you end up in prison?
Well, it all started off at actually it started off as a good day. I didn't have to go to work or anything, and I just wanted to hang out with my homies. And while on my way back home, I stopped at a gas station, and some guy tried to steal my phone away from me, and he had a weapon, and I just didn't accept him doing that. I went back, got some friends, and something bad happened. A guy lost his life. And that's what got me to go to prison.
Okay, so if I get the story right, I want everybody to understand what transpired. So someone tried to steal your phone and you didn't like that. And you and your friend reacted, correct?
Yes, we reacted to that because where I'm from, it's a respect thing. And being young, you don't want anybody disrespecting you, because that opens a pathway to a lot of people. It's a domino effect. So as a youngin, that's what you want to get away from, and you stand your ground so people wouldn't disrespect you and you be all over, basically.
All right. Just to be clear, now we know you were not with your friends at the gas station and it was a respect thing. Somebody just lost their life. Somebody must have pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
Now, we want to know, did it just happen? Was it you or was it somebody else that pulled the trigger?
No, actually, it was somebody else that pulled the trigger. I wasn't the trigger man. Basically, I went and got the trigger man, and we came back, and then I tried to get my phone back. That was the whole reason for us. I just came back with what he had just to get my phone back. Foolish at the time, but that was the logic. It's just to get my phone back, and he still didn't want to give me my phone back, so I snatched it away from him, punching him in the process. He still went from his weapon, seeing my homeboy here with a weapon, and it happened. He got shot.
Right. I noticed someone says that 305 life is different. Orlando, Florida, I think is 321 and 407, but it's the same. Miami is just a distance from Orlando, and sometimes it's not just a matter of your city. I think it's a lot being a young man or a young girl growing up. It's all about that respecting street cred, as a lot of, I know young people call it street cred. It's all about that. You get your credit. It doesn't matter what you got to do. You do it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Even if that means taking someone's life away, which to me is insane. Now, you did some time for what happened. How has life in prison impacted you, your views or perception of life?
Well, prison is basically what you make it. You got people that go there and they gamble. You got people that go there and they steal. You got people that go there, they work out. Then you got people that go in there and educate themselves. I chose to put myself around people that can help me educate and, of course, work out too. So instead of being at the basketball court or merely getting lost in the system, my whole objective when I was in prison was to go to the law library, learn about my case and try to get out, and also educate myself. And that's where I started learning about real estate and things of that sort, businesses, and everybody. Well, prison, you'll meet all type of people in prison. You'll meet people that are lawyers, doctors. You'll meet all those type of people. And if you're smart enough, you'll hang around these people so they can teach you the game. So it's all about who you surround yourself with in prison. So I turned prison into a college, basically.
Good for you. I know there's a lot of talk around, you know, when you hear prison, automatically you think, oh, c'est vol le kalela. C'est mon pa mon ki ale la. You know, and by the way, Fred is Haitian. Sorry guys, I did not say that. Someone asked at what age did you go into jail, to prison? How old were you?
Well, I went to jail at 19 years old. I spent 4 years in jail before I got sentenced. And then I got sentenced later on. So I went to actual prison. Oh, sorry about that. I actually went to prison when I was 23 years old. So, and then I just got out, 8 months ago? So approximately 8 months.
Yes, that's just the sound of that makes me smile, because just having that freedom. Now, Fred, I watch a lot of crime documentaries. For some reason, I am obsessed with First 48, For My Man, Life After Prison. I watch a lot of those shows. And some things that I see, I cannot wrap my mind around them, because it's a lot. Life in prison is not fun. Then I noticed some other people that are living in the street, you know, having that street lives. I'm a thug, I'm a gangster, and all of that. And the way they perceive it or make it look publicly, I can't not understand how what I'm seeing on TV, on these shows, are perceived this way, are being played out like this. And then I see these people who make it look like it's nothing. Now, since you've been there, you've done it, can you please take us back on one of the worst day or you've experienced, or the worst day for you while you were incarcerated?
Well, it was many bad or worse days, because every day you never know what's going to happen. Just check it out. You're in a room with over 150 people sometimes less, sometimes 70 people. And it's different cultures, different backgrounds, different upbringings. So that's what you're around. And you never know when you're going to get your head cracked. One morning, somebody might feel some type of way. You don't know. You probably bumped them. hit his bunk on the way to the bathroom, and in his heart he already has hate or something, and he'll retaliate. So that's on a regular basis. So the worst day for me is when I had to be a part of a situation like that, where somebody uh, thought I meant something or took something the wrong way, and that led to a whole bunch of other BS.
Right.
And it could have been solved over conversation,
Yeah.
but people don't communicate. They just go off of what. So I have been in altercations or fights when basically somebody took something the wrong way. It could have been handled after the fight. After everything that went down, then you explain or you talk, and they be like, "Oh, I didn't know that," and it was just about a whole bunch of nothing, basically.
Yeah, and I know from watching the show, because I have not experienced that life. I know from watching the show is the first time you get into a fight, you gotta fight for your life. I mean, you gotta prove that you are not to be messed with. They can't not mess with you. Otherwise, if you don't fight for your life to the point where you hurt that person real bad to teach all the other people a lesson, you're gonna be a punk. You just gonna be everyone's laughing stock, or little B, as we'll call it, right?
Of course it's like that. Of course you have to fight for what you believe in. You gotta. They have something called the grid. If somebody calls you to the grid or tell you to get there and you don't, essentially you telling them you won't fight for what you believe in. And everybody, I don't care what race you are, what creed you are, you have to fight when your stance is on the line, whatever it may be. I mean, whether somebody's trying to take something from you or whether they don't respect your ideas, you have to stand up for yourself. And it's very, every day is a fight, whether it's with somebody else or even the guards.
Right.
Even guards, what they don't tell you in those videos is sometimes even the guards, you'll get into it. Some guards are brave enough. They take MMA classes and they'll take you in there and ask you for a one-on-one fight too. So it's not just the inmates you're after. It's the guards also. So.
Wow. This is mind blowing. In modern day culture, a lot of people glorify, jail life or prison life. Would you say, is there anything to glorify about that?
I mean, it shows toughness. You feel me? Some type of toughness. And I think that's what people are aiming for, to show that they're tough. But it's many things you can do other than that to seem tough. You feel me?
I was about to say, so do I need to go to prison to show that I'm tough? I mean, I could just walk in and be like, yeah, I'm Berlange, what's good? Did I seem tough?
I mean, let's be honest. The image of what people do to be tough, they got tattoos, they work out, they show that they tough. This is what people like to see. This is what the media like to see. So I think that's what people are chasing. In actuality, in real life, it's not really like that. It's a detriment to your whole life, actually. Going to prison, being basically institutionalized, being in prison is not the best thing. Your freedom is taken away from you. Everything you're shipped off far, far, far away. Your family, they have to have the funds to come see you and take off their job. And sometimes they're even turned away. So it's nothing to glorify about that. You're stripped of everything. I haven't wore actual pants in 13 years. I haven't wore a right shirt in 13 years. So just the basic essentials are mean a lot. Going outside at night, eating what I want to eat what time I want to eat, going to sleep when I want to go to sleep, all that. Who wants to go there? If somebody glorifies that, then I don't know what to say about that person.
Wow. Like I said, I cannot wrap my mind around, if I want to prove that I'm tough, I gotta do a crime to go to prison, get tattooed. Hell, if I want a tattoo right now that says I'm tough, I don't need to go in there. But anyways, that's just beyond me. That just like I said, that's just beyond me, Fred. I just can't think of it. That thought process, that I guess, hey, like you said, some people feel like that's what they must do. And like I said, that life is glorified a lot. Hence asking you, is there anything to glorify about that life? Now, Fred, knowing what you know now and what took place on that day, was your manhood or ego worth it?
When I think about back in the days, like when that transpired, I think about basically if I would have had a vision back then, like I didn't have any direction. So if I would have had a direction, once a person has direction and something comes in the way of the direction they're going with, they'll handle that situation better. So back then, the only thing I had to work with, be a man and stand up for what you believe in. Those the only thing I had. I didn't have a direction or a plan to go in. And I think that's why I reacted how I reacted. Now, do I still have principles that I'll stand on and probably die for today? Of course I do. It's just not those
Okay,
same
no, wait,
things.
wait. Don't go there. That's another question, because when I was talking to you, you raised a point that was very important in our conversation. And I think it's also important to hear you saying it live and for people to let us know what do they think. Now, based on what you just said, if you had to go back to that day, what would you have done differently?
Well, in that day, I should have had emotional intelligence, something that we're not taught. So how I acted emotionally then, I can't control that, because now I've been through many situations where my emotional intelligence was challenged. So if I was to go back to that scene now, of course, I'll know that, wow, you're risking your whole life. You feel me? So then I'll act differently. Okay, you can keep that cheap shit. You feel me? It's what I'll say.
Right.
Then
Right.
it was more so on principles. And I'm going to always stand on my principles today, tomorrow, and for the future. I just switch up my principles. And I'm not going to switch up my principle when it get hot in the kitchen. Like, like our mom say, I'm going to go through with it because those are my principles. So that's how I feel about it.
And that's the question I wanted to ask. Some would call it loyalty, and that's how I would say it, because I mean, I don't know, if I was in that situation, what would I do? I'd be like, well, would I say my friend did it? I don't know. We both would move to Haiti. Shoot, I don't know.
Well,
but would you call it? Some people would call it loyalty, and some would say it's just insane. As for me, I'll just go to Haiti, disappear. But was it loyalty for you, or you said something about principle, or was it principle?
I would say it's both. I'm loyal to my principles. You feel me? So if I'm loyal to those first, and those is be a man, stand for what you believe in, and when the tough comes, you gotta stay tough in the toughness. You don't just go against everything you believe just because it's hot in the kitchen. Like I'll reiterate with that analogy. You feel me? You just don't do that. So
go ahead, because I can't imagine me going to prison, because I need compression stockings. I need my Blast Q clothing. I gotta look good and be revealed. I mean, I love lips. Like, I just couldn't do it. Put me in there one day. I'm ready to just, Lord, take me home. Just take me home. Like, you are a living testimony, and you're still so young. You're so young, and to know that. To know that I am speaking to someone so young, that's done what, 12, 13 years?
Yep, 12 years, 9 months to be exact.
Just say 13 years, honey. Just say 13 years. Just, You know, I
Yeah.
just
Some people ask me if I'm 20 years old. I just say, yeah. Am I wrong?
you look like a kid. You look so young. You don't even look like someone who had all these experiences, and I'm just wow. Now you were being in there. You disclosed some things with me privately that you were able to achieve while you were incarcerated. Can you please tell us what the good things you were able to do?
Yes, yes, yes. So when I got there, I've so I went to prison out of high school. I didn't finish high school. Actually, I was supposed to graduate that year, but I didn't. So I made it my objective to get my high school diploma once I got to prison. And an opening came for a teaching position, and I just was like, oh, I'll take that too. Because I heard that once you teach, your things will stay in your mind. So I kind of challenged myself to do that. And it came with incentives. Once you become a teacher in prison, you can go to any prison that you want of your choice. And I wanted to get closer to home to my family so they can come see me. Because in the Panhandle, I went to prison in Florida. So I'm from Orlando, which is Central Florida. And what they do is they ship you North Florida. So it's hard for your family to come see you. And this was an avenue for me to get back to Central Florida so my family can come see me. So it was learning experience, and I got closer to home to see my family. So it was great.
Wow.
Actually, that ain't the only thing. I took public speaking Toastmasters, which I just joined or about to join the Toastmasters Club now. What else? I took barbering. Love, love barbering. I love the students that's in there. My teacher, she was so great.
Wow.
She almost kicked me out a few times, but she was great.
I'm so happy
um,
to hear you doing such amazing work. Go ahead, keep telling us. I'm listening to hear that
uh,
you were able to get up
yeah,
and get on your feet. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So there was financial literacy classes. So in there, they didn't have an entrepreneurship class. So my friends, they got together and they sent it into the prison. So, and I had somebody facilitated, and we learned financial literacy in there. It was equivalent to like a business. So we'll be holding business. We did shows in prison, my poetry work. So I got a lot of things that accumulated in there that I want to express to the world, actually.
I'm so proud of you. When we were on the phone communicating, I know I was suggesting some books for you to read. I'm like, Fred, have you read this? You're like, yeah, I read it. Fred, did you read this? I read it. What about that book? I read it. I'm like, well, dang.
Yeah.
Like, well, you've done, and I noticed somebody on the live said, you did time, you did not let time do you. How profound is that? Because I know a lot of time is we let it get to us. We start thinking the amount of years that we have to spend wherever we are, and it doesn't necessarily have to be an actual jail. Sometimes we are in prison in our own body. A lot of us
Hmm.
are trapped. I mean, you have so many people walking around in this world. They're not in a facility, but this body they're in is they're a prisoner. They're a prisoner. So, you know, what I got from you is the best thing to do wherever you are mentally is continue to elevate your mind, keep educating yourself, and think outside of the box, travel. And some of the shows that I watched, actually, someone said that what he was able to do is read books that helps him to travel in different places and spaces, like to although
It's
he
an
was not,
escape.
yeah.
It's an escape. Sometimes you dream to escape, and most times a book, a great book, you'll read all types of books in there. It's like you'll be stuck to this book. You don't even want to go anywhere. You just stuck to the book. And most people in there, that's what they do. We're thugs on the street, quote unquote. And then in there, everybody's basically a nerd.
Right, right.
A lot of people read books and write. We write letters to our significant partners. We write letters to others. It's a whole life in there. I don't think it should be glorified. However, when you're there, you make the best of your time. You shouldn't just, it makes the time worse if you're doing bad while you're there. And believe me, I did time like that too. When I first got there, I was kind of hard headed, but you elevate with time. With time, you just elevate with time.
Prison will do that to you. Now, you said something that you write to your significant other. I know you have someone that's been there for you. I mean, Slim, shout out to you, Slim. I know you on the live answering to some of these questions. Slim, I love you. I appreciate you. I know he's been there. There's not a time that I speak to reach out to Slim. He's not like I'm checking on, you know. So how did was there ever a time when you were in there you felt like you were alone, but the fact that you had someone like Slim, like a brother figure that looked out for you, made it better?
You go through all types of emotions. Sometimes you hate everybody. And sometimes you love everybody. It's your mental it brings mental toughness, because then you realize ain't nobody put me here, I put myself here. And then you cherish even the small things that people do. Like a small letter to somebody in prison that has nobody's everything. To get your name called at mail call is is wonderful. People sometimes people write letters to themselves. Everybody want to be loved. So
Right.
I did go through all emotions, but I had a whole bunch of support. I had a whole bunch of support from friends. Slim being one of them, Bennett being one of them, Sondler being one of them, E.A. Evans. He wrote me a lot of letters. I had a significant other, which we're not together no more, but she's still significant. Everything been great. I had my home girl, Esther. She wrote me. Matter of fact, I'm wearing her shirt right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a lot of support. Though I had a lot of downtime, I had a lot of support and I had a lot of letters, and we'll communicate. Matter of fact, the reason I'm up in Ohio, I moved from Florida to Ohio, is because one of my homies, Bennett, we was corresponding through letters. And we'll talk about real estate. We'll talk about books. He'll send me books. I send him my ideas on the books. And we'll correspond. And we always said, when I get out, I'm finna do real estate. And guess what I'm doing right now?
Oh, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. When we get to it, I want to get to it because I am so excited, so proud of you that you were able to get back on your feet, and you're doing great things. Not a lot of people have that mental capacity because you spend so many years in there that when you come out, it's a whole new world. I mean,
It's
the
a whole
world
new
is
world.
constantly advancing, whether it's, you know, the new gadget, the streets are changing, the world is constantly right now it's chaotic, it's in chaos. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hear all of that, the great things you're doing. But let me get some questions right now. Somebody asked, how did you get back to a normal life?
Well, life isn't normal. Life isn't normal. You still go through things. It's sometimes I dream, and I dream that I'm back in prison and I'm trying to dream to get out. So I wouldn't say it's normal. You still have normal struggles. You still have mannerisms that come from prison. You'd be like, hold on, let me get rid of this right quick. Sometimes you don't want to be around a lot of people. Sometimes you just want to be alone. I wouldn't say it's normal. I would say it's just you striving to get over it to the point where you can be normal.
Right.
It's
Wow.
not normal, but you make it the best out of the situation.
Well, I mean, normal tastes different for everyone. Normal looks different for everyone. So whatever your normal is, you go with that. It's fine with me. It's none of my business. What I wanted to ask you, another questions. Let's see if I can take some of the questions. Okay, a lot of questions that I have to move through. Let's see. Someone asked, That's kind of personal. Talk about something if you still with your significant other. He said no, he wasn't. All right, let's move forward. Now, are you getting any counseling or?
Actually, I'm setting up for that right now. I am an advocate of mental health. I'm not like others. I think more people should have it. Uh, I'm not doing it right now, but I'm in the process of getting mental health.
Counseling. Okay.
Hmm.
That's amazing. I think a lot of time in our community we feel like it's not for us. We don't need it. But I think it's very important to get as much as help as necessary, because I do notice a lot of time you don't even have to come out of prison or jail. A lot of time, a lot of us needs counseling, and
Hmm.
no specific person, as much as counseling you can get, just get it. I mean, it's great. It works for you. Your mental health is very important. So as much as that you can get is great. Let's see, another question. Okay, no, we'll come back to that after. Guys, send different questions that Fred can answer, considering his experiences, that a young person or an adult that is in that life can benefit from. Fred can teach. Right now, we are at a teaching moment. Fred lived a life that none can actually imagine. I personally cannot imagine it at all. I know I said I would die the first day. I probably would. I need my compression stockings. I ain't kidding. And the way I love different kind of exotic food time to time. Oh, I'm gonna ask you that question. Someone said, "How's the food? Is it like what they say it is? Like it tastes like cardboard?"
The food is terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. Some people don't even eat the food, and that's the ones that are fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
But the food is terrible. I was fortunate to go to a private camp. Like when I told you I started teaching, I transferred from uh, a regular prison to like a private facility. The food was a little better, but if you didn't have money or something like that, it was very tough. The food is worse than cardboard. If somebody said cardboard is worse than cardboard, I believe.
It sounds like you're very motivated. And I know in this world, a lot of us have the tendency to mask ourselves and live a life that internally it's not who we are. We're just fronting. We're faking the funk, as some people would call it, just to get by. A lot of us use what you call this defense mechanism. I would like to ask you, what motivates Fred? It's only been what, eight and a half months since you've been out. What motivates you?
I would say most definitely it's my parents. My parents are immigrants from Haiti. They came on the boat in the 1970s when it was rough in Haiti and they was looking for opportunity. I kind of feel like me going to prison and living the life that I once lived, I kind of feel like I spit on that opportunity. And now I want to put everything towards building that opportunity for my kids, for my nieces, for my nephews, for my godchildren, for everybody in the world. And that's what motivates me. And what motivates me more is the people, not more, but at the same time, the people that I see go in prison that are good people, they've changed, but they have a life sentence and they'll never be able to express that again. Because it's people in there that I met that shaped me into who I am. Because at one point in time in prison, I was looked at as a nerd for teaching. I was a teacher. So people like, you ain't gangster, you a teacher. And then you got to prove yourself right then and there. And then other people will start vouching for you that understand what you're doing. Like, you got to understand, I was doing public speaking. I was part of the club's officers list. So it was, and as an officer, let me say that clearly, because I was not the police. As an officer, I mean, for the club I was in, you had vice president, president, vice president of membership. I'm talking about officer in that sense. So they seen that, and I had to carry myself a certain way. And people felt like, people ask me, and if you know about Orlando, they'd be like, "Are you from Windermere? How did you get in prison?" A lot of people ask me that, like, because I had a good spirit to myself. I'm always smiling. I can't help that. That's just who I am. I can't help smiling. I feel stuff, and I just have that energy. And I feel like all of that, plus my homies that know me, that know how real I kept it, that keep it genuine with me. I do it for all that. All that is the big ball of motivation that pushed me up.
Wow. I'm sitting here listening to you. I'm just wowed. It just, you have so much to offer. And although part of your life was taken away from you, you were robbed, and you did not let that, you know, take the best out of you. You still, you are this person. Like, if someone doesn't know your story, they would never imagine that you've gone through that. I mean, you speak with so much conviction, courage, inspiration. It's just, I'm thinking, did you really spend this much years? And it shows that, look, you've been in there doing your thing, and you are ready. You are ready to face the world. And sometimes certain things happen to us in this life, and we think it's the worst, and other people look at us like we're done. We're done. Little did you know that's what's going to do it for us. Who knows, if you were in the streets, what could have been happened? And again, it's not something we're saying that is good, but sometimes it's necessary.
Yes. I mean, when I think about it, well, what you go through makes you who you are. I probably been somebody whole different. You never know what journey I would have been on. So I'm appreciative to be here right now, living life and striving to be who I want to be.
Did you ever feel like, well, it's been what, 8.5, 9 months? Have you felt like you've missed out on life, would you say?
Of course, I felt like I missed out on life. When I left the streets, my sister was 8 years old. My little brother, he was a little older, probably 10, 12 years old. Now, when I get out, they're adults. Now, so it's a whole different thing. My brother has grown. My mother, like, she's not normal anymore. So, of course, my father passed when I was in prison. So, yeah,
I'm so
so
sorry to
I, yeah, so I felt like I missed a lot. Though I don't dwell on it too much, because at the end of the day, the past is the past and you leave it there. I want to just go forward with that. And I can carry my father's legacy. I can carry my mother's legacy. I can carry the family. And maybe, well, not maybe, we are going to make it. We're going to strive and we're going to do it. I'm going to go with every grain in my soul to make sure that we make it.
Well, let me pull myself together, guys. Send some fire. You said something that just did something to me. I don't cry. I call myself a thuggist. Thuggist don't cry.
We all need to cry sometimes. Just let it out.
No,
Just
not
let it out.
alive. These people are crazy. They're gonna take screenshots. If they're gonna take screenshots, I need to get myself together so they can guys, take some screenshots. I'm not gonna keep you for long because I kept you long enough. You guys have been sending questions. I cannot ask all of them, and Fred, of course, cannot answer all of them. We do not want to be here forever. But I would like to ask you, what advice would you have given to your younger self? And based on your experience, what would you tell people that are watching right now and people that will be watching? So first, what would you tell your younger self and people that are watching right now and people that will be watching?
The advice I'll give my younger self is have a vision. A vision sets you on path. And when things come that go against your vision, get them out your way and strive to your vision. Don't derail. Go straight towards your vision. I would tell them that, because Had I had vision at that time, who knows where I would have been right now. I was just lost as a kid. And of course, I wanted street cred too. Of course, I wanted to be respectful. Everybody wants the same thing, money, power, and respect.
Yeah.
But now it's a different way to get that. Get that respect by having a business, by providing your family. Like, I have to ask myself, was it worth it for real? Was my principles worth it? It was worth it, but I understand that I lost a lot of things. And if people was to think about the consequences and everything you lose, that's what it'll make you change your decision-making skills. I was listening to Ray Dalio, and he talked about the first order of consequences and the second order of consequences and the third. Now, I mean, sometimes we don't like to eat vegetables, but it's good for us. So we got to get over those first consequences and do what's right for us. Of course, what I should have did in that moment was say, you got that, turn around. Life is bigger than that. But I let my emotions overcome me, and I end up going the wrong way. So if I had to tell somebody in the future anything, I would say first, figure who you are. Figure who you are. I mean, dig into who you are, what you believe in. And once you find what you believe in, build a vision on that and stand on that with every grain of your soul, and don't let nothing come in between that. And if you do that, you're going to gain the people that need to be around you, going to be around you, and the people that need to come in your life going to come in your life. That's what I tell them.
Dang, Fred. Dang. Dang. That's a mouthful. I mean, I just pinned a comment that you said, and somebody wrote, "Don't derail from your vision." Love that. Yeah, that's true. Because let me be honest with you. It gets hard. It gets really tough. And since we are being revealed live, sometimes people see what I put on social media and they figured I have it all together. But sometimes I struggle mentally. Not for anything else, I struggle. But the fact that I am such a happy person, and I really believe that I was put on this earth to put a smile on people's face. If I was not born to do anything else, I think that's my sole purpose, to make people smile, to, and I struggle. I know you struggle. We all struggle, but we have a way to go about it like life is good. But what you just said right now, having a vision. Listen, once you have a vision, it doesn't matter how tough it gets. Because you have that vision, you stay on it. I don't know where you are in this life. I'm speaking to our audience. I don't know what's going on in your life, what you're going through. But you know what? Write your vision. Just know that. Just write your vision. On my wall, I have this big poster written, "Remember why you started." What's your why? Because once you have a why, that vision, once you fall, you'll always remember that vision, and you got to get back up. You fall again, you remember that vision, get back up. That vision is what keeps you going. So if you don't have a vision, honey, find a vision. Write a vision. Fred, you've been so amazing. You've been so good. Your story is so important. Your story needs to be told all over the world, and I will be doing everything in my power to connect you to everyone that I possibly can. I know you are working on a couple of things. Can you please share what you're working on? How can we support you? Are you open for bookings? I mean, just tell it all. Just go ahead.
Yes, right now I'm in Dayton, Ohio. So I'm doing real estate right now. So I love it. It's a challenge, and I love challenges every day to do what I do. It's a blessing because this what I planned to do when I was behind the wall. So That's a great thing. I've written a lot of poetry, and right now, uh, me and my homie, we just got together. He's an artist, and we're gonna collaborate. He's gonna paint to my poetry, so that's a great thing. What else? I do stand up poetry. I want to do public speaking. I want to motivate the youth. I want to share my experiences in a raw way so they can understand. Because a lot of people, they see the glorified part, but they don't see the other part. Uh, and I want to just balance it. You know, I'm a Libra, so I just want to balance it. So once you know the ups and the downs of something, and you choose that, that's your business. You know what I mean? At least you acted and you knew what you was doing. But what else?
Oh, hold on. Somebody said they will sing on your poetry. Okay, I'm gonna hold her up to that. That's my girl,
Oh, nice,
Naroki.
nice,
Okay,
nice, nice. We're definitely gonna hold her to
we're
it.
gonna do that. But yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off. Carry on. I just wanted to put that out there. Carry on.
Okay, yeah. So that's really it. I want to get into public speaking. That's the that's what I think my gift is.
Well,
And
you're doing it right now, and you have a whole lot of experience under your belt, and that's what the world needs. It's easy to it's easy to talk about something that your friend had gone through. It's easy to talk about something that you've seen. But now when you experience something and you're talking about it, I think that's it. It's so much deeper. So you wanting to be inspirational speaker and owning your truth out loud, that's beautiful. And you will get there. You will get there. You're doing that right now, which I am so proud of you. So if you are in the Dayton, Ohio area, you know someone who's doing any event, you would like to book Fred, please. Fred need all the support. We are a safe community here. I already vouch to support you in everything that I possibly can, whatever you need. I'm just a message away, an email or a phone call. You have my number. Earlier you mentioned that you are wearing your friend's shirt. Can we see the shirt, and can
oh
we,
yeah,
what does it
yeah. It
say?
says channel my lupus.
Channel my lupus. And
Yeah,
I'm assuming she has lupus.
yeah. She has lupus. Her name's Esther Charleston. She does it in Orlando, Florida. She advocates it. She brings awareness to it. She does public speaking. She's wonderful. She's an open book, and she's willing to share.
I'll have her on. I'll have her on follow up. You just never know. Just that I have a list of people who wants to be on live telling their story. People who wants to be revealed, and I am so happy that God has chosen me to this work, and I'm happy that I've been available. I was just afraid to do it. I'm happy that we're doing this. We got to do this together. I'm all about doing the work, whether it is at the forefront or behind the scene. I know what it's like when I needed someone to push me forward to tell my story. I know what it was like when I needed someone to hold my hands, to just use my voice. But I didn't have that until I started to whisper and learn who Berlange is. And I realized my power. And this is why I'm doing this. I have decided to use my platform, share my platform with anyone who wants that push, because I didn't have that, you know. So Fred, I thank you. Did we cover everything? Anything else you would like to plug before I let you go?
Look out for Sanye and me. We're gonna do artwork. His Instagram is Sanye the Locksmith. So look up him. Uh, oh, I'm in Dayton, Ohio. The reason I even started public speaking here was for Tage with What's the Business? What's the Biz with Tage? So uh, I shot her out too.
I'll check that out. Oh, where can we find you? Are you on Twitter? Are you on you are on Instagram, so I need you to say the name for the Instagram. What else? Facebook. You guys, there's a lot of questions on my inbox right now. I would love for you to follow through and keep in touch with Fred. Give him all the support that you possibly can. He needs it. I need it. We all need it. And together we can run the race. So go ahead. Tell us where we can follow you.
You can follow me at fredfree.villvisions on Instagram, and Fred is FRED.
Can somebody, Sun Yay, Sun underscore Yay, can you write it so I can pin it? I'll pin it so that way people can see it. They can just click it. Yes. What else? Where else can we find you?
On Facebook at Fred Prinville, my regular name. I'm soon to start a blog, so look out for that. Those are, or you can email me at fprinville, FPRINVILLE @gmail.
Okay. And you're okay for me to give out that information if anybody.
It's okay. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Okay. Fred, I cannot possibly thank you. Oh, there you go. Somebody said it. Thank you, Slim Delgado, working on the law. That's a lie. Okay. I cannot thank you enough. You are a living testimony. You are the story. And like they always say, your stories will open doors for you. I have no words. You are so amazing beyond words. And I would like to say that, not that what happened to you was a great thing, but in a way, I'm glad you had to go through that in order for you to understand who Fred is, to understand your purpose. Because back then, had somebody told you had to go to jail to be this person, you would have been like, no,
Oh, I'd have been terrified. I was terrified.
So, here you are. We are having this conversation. So I just wanted to say I appreciate you. I love you. Keep up the great work. And it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. Some days will be better than others. But what I do want you to remember, like you said, remember the vision. The vision.
Okay. Nice.
Now,
thank you. Have a nice one.
No, before I let you go, is there anything else you want to put out there? Any thoughts? Any advice? Just anything. One last word.
Keep the vision alive. Dream big or die.
Dream big or die. Fred, we will keep in touch. I am going to follow you every step of the way. I support you. I love you, brother. We'll talk again.
Nice. Have a nice one, B.
You too. Thank you.